Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another night of Tuesday Q&A
And weirdness and
and
whatever else.
weirdness and rambling and bad jokes and whatever else we can come up with. Good to see you again.
And
Joined
we've
by
had to follow
the joined
it.
obviously by the whiny chunk and the lovely and gracious, internationally renowned E Train.
Where our voices are getting a little bit better, but they're not great. We do apologize for that. This RSV is not something that anybody should ever chunk, should
Yeah, I
ever
get
want
get
to
rid of the
have.
glasses and I gain the wheeze. So occasionally you'll hear me just wheeze. So I've had pneumonia twice, got some scarring in the lungs. Anytime something just even mildly irritates the lungs, I get this stupid wheeze. So, but appreciate y'all being with us, joining us. Sky Ricky with the first question of the night. And a good one. Wondering what you think of the guilty verdict of Crumbly. I'm
Can I
gonna
give
look
a statement real quick?
not when I finish.
Okay,
I,
sorry.
I'm going to leave this one up to the lovely and gracious
Oh.
E Train. So, what do
What
you think?
I'm sure whatever a jury of his peers found to be proven in the courtroom, or excuse me, is probably
Hello, Melissa.
what should happen. And yes, I haven't watched the Crumbly case. I have. Clay and I were just talking before we came on, and I asked him. I said, "What do you think about it?" And he was like, "Yeah, I haven't watched it either." I was like, "Okay." So if you want to fill us in, Sky Ricky, a little bit, what's going on there? Hey,
Yeah, I've
Melissa.
seen that is a whiny dog you have there, young lady. um, I've seen, Rob and Ian tweet about it, but that's really the extent of my knowledge. They don't seem too terribly impressed with either side, actually. But and I've just gotten skeptical of the whole damn justice system. I just
Mm-hmm.
anytime there's a controversial case, it automatically makes me question whether or not they arrived at the right decision. I know nothing about the facts. I know nothing about the case. I know nothing about the participants of the procedure. But I
I
just
guess,
am
yeah.
developing this innate skepticism.
I guess you have to. Of course, you can't even do that anymore. You can't trust the evidence presented. You can't trust any bias, unknown bias, or we're not doing this tonight, Sean. No. Um,
He might beg to differ.
if he does, he will be let out and door shut, and he'll have to just figure it out. But yeah, I don't know, with the cases that I have seen, which is quite a few. I especially even with the Murdoch case, or Murdoch, Alec Murdoch, whatever. A lot of attorneys had the same opinion that I did, which was they didn't prove his guilt. And it was just kind of random evidence, and they wanted to stick it to him. Okay, fine, I get that. Maybe he's guilty, don't know, but it wasn't proven. It's hard to trust the system of justice that we currently have, in my opinion.
Well, I'm kind of curious. I said like I was skeptical of the system. You know, how do y'all feel about our current state of justice in this country? Do you feel like, the system does a good job of actually pursuing the guilty, punishing the guilty, protecting the innocent?
We a pole, we a pole, we a pole at the bottom of the sea.
All right, well, I'm put one up.
All right. Yeah,
That
Melissa, I
means you
just, Hmm?
that means you get to talk.
Oh, great. Um, Toby Keith died. I'm really sad. Um, American girls and American guys will always stand up and salute. We'll always recognize when we see old glory flying. There's a lot of men dead, So we can sleep in peace at night when we lay down our heads. Sorry, I had to hear me sing, especially with this voice. You got to pull up yet?
I'm just so close.
Chunk, no, we're not doing this. I will put you out into the hallway. I will do it. I will make you go irritate daddy instead. There's nothing up here that you need. Oh, you want a cough drop? No cough drops for you. We did that last time. That was just a special event. That's it. We're done. No more. Not doing it. No, forget it. Nope. You can't have one. I am sorry. Y'all can listen to Chunk and I have a conversation. Chunk, he talks a lot. Buddy,
He is a chatty little mullet.
I think he just cursed me out. Pretty sure of it, by the way. Chunk, we're not doing it. Stop. Okay, I'm putting him out. I can't do it. Okay, here we go. The day of the shooting, the parents were called into the school and discussed problems about their 15-year-old son who they just bought a gun for. After the meeting, he took a gun out, killed 4. Well, they're guilty. The parents, for sure, 1,000%. Okay, John. First of all, you shouldn't buy a 15-year-old a gun, period. That's not, you don't do that. Come on, you're out. You have expired your ability to stay in this room. How do y'all feel? Sorry. Because there are so many things wrong with that. And yes, Melissa, our system is far better than most. Prosecutors seem to be more focused on a win than on punishing those who are actually guilty. And that is true. And I think also that there are many prosecutors who just don't care to prosecute the crimes that are before them in their districts. And there is a school of thought.
The poll is up.
Okay. I had a thought. I was going to say it. The school of thought is that attorney generals in the states were voted for and approved and backed by people who really didn't want the law to be prosecuted in the way that it should be. They didn't want to prosecute the criminals. And that is really awful, in my opinion. But parents are guilty.
All right. Did the son have any prior history of mental instability, anger issues, bullying, violence, anything?
Well, did you read this part?
Yeah.
Discuss problems about their son.
That's why I'm wondering now. I don't have a problem with buying a 15-year-old a gun. Historically in this country, kids would get their first little 22 at 7, 8, 9, whatever. They would even take their guns to school for gun training and practice.
With 18 what? What year? 18?
1950s, 60s.
Really?
Yeah. You can Google it and see kids carrying their guns to school. When I was in high school, people had guns in their cars and, gun racks in their trucks, whatever, for hunting or whatever, parking out in the parking lot.
When I was in high school in Raleigh, North Carolina, 2 of our students, they were twins, Josh and Jarrett, I probably should say their names. Anyway, were suspended because they had water guns that looked like guns.
That's ridiculous. Sky Ricky, he was having mental issues. Yeah, in that case.
And he was asking for help.
Yeah, if he was having known issues, then I think the parents are definitely guilty.
And I'd say Melissa said if the school is at fault as well, but they have immunity, did they let him into school with the gun? Did they know about the gun? I'm curious.
I don't think the school would let him in, but they may have not helped him seek aid
Or reach out to
or
his
real,
parents soon enough.
taking proper precautions if he presented a threat to other kids, that kind of thing.
Huh.
They,
You crunch that ice.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's, no, they didn't know or check that he had a gun.
I don't think any reasonable school would assume that a 15-year-old has a gun. Why his
I mean,
parents bought
it's
him one.
impossible. It's impossible to keep somebody hell bent on evil out of a school.
Okay.
To me, the main problem is, why are we having so many kids become so evil? I mean, like I say, for hundreds of years, kids were always around guns. They even brought guns to school. They'd go hunting together or whatever after school. No problems. No problems. What
Yeah, I
has
mean,
changed in the last 30 years to create this? It's almost a pandemic.
I know. Lack of two-parent households.
I mean, I think that plays a big role.
Lack of parenting. I mean, I got a gun after my house was broken into, and I taught both of my children how to not use it and how to use it, and that it was dangerous and that it's always loaded, and I put a lock on it, on the trigger, so that no one could just pull it unwittingly in my home. And my kids were 13 and 11. And then when I felt like they were responsible enough, we took them shooting. This is how you handle a gun. This is safety. This is what you do and don't do. I don't. And Melissa, I don't know why a school would check a backpack. I'm a little bit confused. Did they know he had a gun?
Yeah, I don't even think schools can check personal property without a warrant. But that doesn't really answer the question, why is there such an issue now with kids doing violence, evil things at school? Why are so many kids on drugs? Why are so many kids in need of mental counseling?
Because we destroyed them.
We're doing something wrong in the system.
Yeah, I agree.
We're doing something majorly wrong. And we're screwing the kids up. And they're just reacting to what they see, what they live with, and what they're taught. What they're not taught anymore is human life being of infinite value. They're not taught that each and every one of them is of infinite value. Teachers may use words like respect, but they don't demand respect from the students.
You shouldn't have to.
The students don't respect a lot of times their parent or parents. So using that word is empty if there is no discipline, no demand that there is respect.
Well, the parents don't demand respect. They just ignore their kids. Kids need parents.
Neither do teachers.
I'm sorry, what?
Neither do teachers.
Neither do teachers what?
Demand respect. I see repeated videos of students being extremely disrespectful towards teachers, or even violent towards teachers, threatening violence.
There's no.
It's insane.
It's parents.
We are
Parents suck.
legitimizing insanity. We're normalizing insanity among our kids. Why?
Can you crap, Clay.
Parents are busy working on or on the phones, and kids are left unsupervised. Parents don't feel like it's their responsibility to train and raise the kids. I think that's a huge problem. The schools keep pushing the parents out of the kids' life. The parents try to get involved with the curriculum or whatever. The schools go, no, that's our call. We're the experts. We know what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing it worse and worse and worse. So is it a bug in the system or is it a feature?
It's a feature at this point. I mean, that's what I sent you, Clay, a text yesterday with a video. I don't know if we can get that up, but it was sort of exactly what we're talking about right now.
What was it? I don't know.
It was the Douglas Murray. It was like a less than 2 minute, but if we play it off of YouTube, they'll freak out.
No, I can't.
Okay. Sky Ricky says mother was busy having an affair with a fireman. He must have been very hot. That's the problem too, though. Think about that. I mean, if the mom is more concerned with getting laid than she is her kiddo, that's a problem.
Here's something I saw today. Wasn't really planning on having this on the show. I had to go find it and grab a pic of it real quick. But here's a list of 53 Illinois schools with 0 students who are proficient at math at grade level. So is this a feature or a bug? Months ago, we talked about City of Baltimore, all their inner city schools didn't have anybody at grade level at reading or math. Is that a feature or a bug? Have we developed public school curriculums that encourage idiocy, that encourage lack of discipline, that encourage no regard for performance or standards? If so, why? It is a big issue with me.
Should be.
Because obviously I'm in the field. Not only what I see personally, but what I talk with other professors. I'm going to a conference this week. And it likely will be a topic of conversation around the lunch tables, dinner tables, drinks, whatever. Because consistently we are seeing lower and lower and lower quality students. Is it a feature or is it a bug? That's the big question. Got to admit, as I see more and more of it, starting to think it's more a feature. Don't forget the poll. So if you will, cast your votes. Right now, ham sandwich is coming in a strong second. Yeah, I like that ham sandwich option. But yeah, things are just really weird.
Yeah, they are.
In a country that historically, hasn't really had this problem. Even when we had the one-room schoolrooms, dirt floors, wood cabins, the kids received a far better education.
Sorry. Can y'all hear that?
No, just keep hearing you yell, sorry.
Okay, good. Thank you. Seriously?
Ellen,
What?
Ellen.
I'm serious. Can you hear me
But
really?
anyway, back to the topic. Ellen.
Yes. Yes. You can hear it. You didn't.
No, I can't hear anything but you going, can you hear it? Can you hear it? Sorry, sorry, sorry,
Okay,
sorry.
good. Well, then why did you say Ellen?
Because every time I start to talk, you interrupt me. It's like, hey, if there's something you want to say it.
I'm going to shortly.
We did this a lot. Welcome
Yeah,
to
we
the
do.
show. And you know, the reason is we have minds that work differently. Mine's I want to follow this logical progression. Ellen is thinking of a lot of different aspects which lead to other options and discussions. She's much more creative in her
Wow.
processes than I could ever be. Parents failed to tell the school that they bought him a gun. I would think that would be normal. I don't think, parents would normally tell a school or doc or whatever that they bought their kid a gun, particularly today. That would almost be bad stigma, bad karma. But again, and I don't know what his mental issues were,
Here we
but that
go.
would be big to me. If he had some serious anger, mental issues, somebody volunteered that he had been drawing pictures of bloody dead people and guns at school.
Mm-hmm.
If the school saw that, that ought to be a huge red flag. That would not be the first time that has happened with a kid that ended up, being a school shooter.
They should have told the school. They should have told the school that he had a gun. They should have never let him take the gun. They should have locked it up when there wasn't a reason for him to use it.
Did they know that he took the gun?
But the parents are responsible. The parents are responsible for the gun, where it is, what's going on. There's no reason for him to take a gun to school. None.
Melissa, they did have guns in their household for years before this incident. They asked the parents to take their son home and they said they couldn't. They were busy. So was that when the mom was with the fireman?
Apparently.
There's a lot of little red flags that aren't getting attention from anybody. They did have their guns locked up, and they did not know that he took it that day.
If they had them locked up, they didn't have them locked up well enough, in my opinion.
Well, a 15-year-old can get around most anything. Let's be real. That's a young adult. They're not like a little toddler.
A 15-year-old boy is an idiot. There's no doubt about that.
Different things. He can get in a lock cabinet.
Okay.
It's like kids drinking behind their parents' back, stealing their cigarettes, whatever. I mean, kids doing things behind parents' back has been the stuff of legends. We all probably have some experience with that. The deal is now that, like this kid, he did something behind his parents' back and a school shooting. That's what's abnormal. That's what people aren't really addressing, is why are kids going to this extent to be heard? Why are they going to this? Why are they having these kind of thoughts? Why are they having this kind of anger? Why are they having this kind of disregard for human life? Why do they not have any value for human life?
At 15 years old during COVID, he was locked down for at least 2 years, had no social interaction, probably was freaking miserable. But let me, can I share? I need you to Can I remove yours?
Done.
This is what I was looking for. Present. Because this pretty much sums it all up, in my opinion.
If you ask them, as you've done,
Can you hear?
how many Jewish states
Yeah.
are there? They'll go, I don't know, like 18 or something. They're just, and by the way, I mean, this is a very serious problem, but not just for Israel. It's a problem for the.
Oh, sorry, it's grabbing. Don't know why. Well, give me a second. Don't know what's going on here. What is up with my internet? Okay, it's on 5.
Click refresh.
This is gonna take it all the way back to the beginning, isn't it? No, it's not. Okay.
Friends would walk up to me and
Hang
just be
on.
like, "What the f is in your mug?" And I would just tell them, "It's mug."
To point to this country on a map, and they'd fail. If you ask them, as you've done, how many Jewish states are there? They'll go, I don't know, like 18 or something. They're just, and by the way, I mean, this is a very serious problem, but not just for Israel. It's a problem for the West. In New York State, public schools pay about $30,000 per student for their annual education, which is a lot of money. And proving that money alone doesn't make a good education. And there's just over 50% literacy rates in K through 12, standard basic literacy, and about 51% basic numeracy. So I take it as read that when somebody is chanting some malevolent idiocy on the streets of New York or London, the likelihood is that you could diddle them out of their change at a cash point and they wouldn't notice. They can get from 1 to 10, but after that it's all a mystery. And that has serious repercussions. So, I mean,
that is true.
And it's kind of funny, but instead of laughing at it, to me, people ought to be outraged.
They should, but he was talking to Israelis, but he's speaking the truth.
But people become aware of these facts. This list of schools, this is not the first time that these schools have grotesquely underperformed, and nothing is done. More and more money is funneled. The teachers keep their jobs. The principals get their promotions, their raises. Yeah. The teachers keep crying out, we need more money. We need more money. And they say we need to hire better people. Well, when do they fire the incompetent ones?
They don't.
Instead of having a class of 20, fire 1 out of every 5 and have a class of 25. You're better off with a good teacher having a slightly larger class than you are continuing to subsidize grotesque incompetence. I just don't understand why there is no literal outrage at the horrid performance of our educational system.
My children, your grandchildren, your child had basic literacy before they ever went to kindergarten. And that 50% of K through 12 in New York don't have basic literacy skills. That is freaking sad.
At $30,000 a year per child. Yep. So for one classroom of 20 kids, that's $600,000. Now you take that $600,000 and take whatever you think the expenses should be. Pay the teacher $70,000 for 9 months. Another $20,000 for her employee benefits. Okay, $90,000. Spend $500 a year on books for each kid. Rent a classroom for $1,000 a month. That's Class A office space. That's really nice office space.
Mhm.
Bathrooms, electricity, all that's included. How much does it cost to bus each kid? Even though I'm not really sure schools should do that, but
No, wait.
$200 a month per kid?
If you give that money that they
Well, now
spend
wait a
per
minute.
child,
I'm not done. I'm not done.
okay,
Let me finish.
okay,
So I've got the teacher covered. I've got the room covered. I've got the books covered. I've got the transportation covered. Take $5,000 per room for secretarial staff. So one secretary covers 10 rooms. Take out another 5,000 for principal, or 10,000 for principal.
you said one room, one
No,
teaching room.
5,000 per room. So for every 10 rooms, that's $50,000. That's one secretary. If you have a school with 30 rooms, they have 3 secretaries. That's
Okay,
about
gotcha.
what I see. And then you have one principal over this 20-room school or 30-room school. 20-room school. So take out $5,000 per room for the principal. That's $100,000. Whatever numbers you want. But I've got a principal, I've got the secretaries, I've got the room, I've got the teacher, I've got employee benefits, I've got books, I've got transportation. I've got everything covered that's essential for that school. And I'm up to 130,000 per room. So where's the other $470,000 going?
I see where you're going. Administrating education.
It's not going in the classroom. It's not benefiting the students.
No, it's not, because the teachers usually have to mostly pay for their own supplies in the classroom. But here is my solution.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that because the teachers can't teach generally. You don't get 50% reading and math scores with competent teachers.
True. May I
Go ahead.
give my solution? All right. Take all of the money spent per student by the government to administrate education, right? Let's say it's $30,000 a kid, all right? Give that money back to the parents, but they have to spend it on education for their child. Get a community teacher that you trust, that you vet, that you know that's going to teach your child reading, writing, arithmetic, science. Okay. Pay her a salary. You pay for your own books. You get your kid to the community area. And it will save a ton of money. You'll probably get a way better education for your kid. And then maybe mama can afford to stay home.
You know, I'm sitting there thinking in New York's 30 grand, probably, I think the state average is around 17,000.
Mm-hmm.
For all the parents out there that are watching or will watch, what kind of education could you procure for your child if you had $17,000 a year to spend on it?
Exactly.
Could you coordinate with a few others, hire a really good teacher, buy some books?
Do some online homeschooling is huge. It doesn't cost that much money. I mean, I put my daughter through 3 years of high school, I think, for $1,000.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm a big believer in homeschool. I don't know how well that goes. It can work for some, maybe not for others. Not going to really get into that, but I'm talking about just, you know, if 5 parents of 6th graders each get 20 grand a year and they each cough up, you know, 10 grand a piece, they can pay a teacher to teach 5 kids 50 grand for 8 months work.
And in this state, she's getting paid more than she would at
in a
school.
public school.
Mm-hmm.
And practically, she's only there for 2 or 3 hours a day with 5 kids. She doesn't have
That's
to
all
keep
you
them
need.
8 hours a day
Mm-mm.
because she doesn't have to worry about lunch break feeding them. She doesn't have to worry about PE or break times, study halls, none of that stuff. So she has 2 or 3 solid hours to teach. Now, in most schools, studies show that learning the new material is about 20 to 30 minutes a day. Everything else is other stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
So
most kids who homeschool between like 9 and noon, and they're done for the day. That's it. And they learn just as much, if not more, than kids in public school because there's no chitter chat between them. There's no distractions. It is okay. This is it. This is what we're going to learn today, and here's how we're going to learn it.
yeah,
And
studies
it,
show that homeschool kids perform better in college
yeah,
and beyond.
because they can
There's
manage their time, right? And they know they have to get the work done, and they get it done more efficiently, in my opinion, because they know what they have to do.
they actually get a better education at home than they do at school, which tells you something when an unprofessional parent, maybe a parent without a college degree, can do a better job than people trained in education. I mean, that's a problem.
Or is it a
I would
solution?
I would think, well, I mean, to me, it's obviously, if I was a parent, had kids, I'd strongly consider homeschooling. But when you've got that kind of result, to me, it calls into question what is going on in the schools of education. Hell, the reality is you get teachers graduating that can't do, basic high school algebra. The failure rate on that is pretty damn high, depending on your state. You get teachers who are semi-literate almost, who can't use the Queen's English, much less write it, teach it, etc. They don't even teach cursive in a lot of schools.
Because
So
a lot of people can't do it.
kids will be unable to read the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution.
Oh, that's convenient.
Think about that. 100 years ago, kids, in the one-room schoolhouse, by the time they were 8th grade, they would be proficient at calculus. They would be proficient in English and at least one, maybe 2 other languages. Those languages would generally be Greek or Latin. They had a fairly deep and extensive knowledge of the literature of the day. John Locke, Adam Smith, Calvin, etc. The great works that had changed, altered, motivated Western, society. I agree. I will freely admit they didn't have a great background in, Zimbabwean cultural art, but they could talk about human nature, incentives, motives, reasons for hours with you. And they could quote and cite Locke, Hume, Rutherford, on down the line. And this by the 8th grade.
Well, this is, like I know I've told you a million times, I may have said it on here before, but when my son was in middle school, he came home and called me a birth giver. And I kind of thought it was kind of cute and funny at the time. And I'm just like, wait a minute, something's going on here. Something is really going on here. And after, my daughter's high school refused to prosecute the guy that was harassing her and wanted her to change her schedule and all of her things, I'm like, this is seriously screwed up. I think that education of our youth is huge. If we're not teaching the right things, if we're not teaching actual history, if we're teaching ideologies, we're in big trouble. They don't teach the Constitution. They don't teach the Declaration of Independence. Ask anyone. It's just not Ask any kid, any 18-year-old. They couldn't tell you anything about it.
Do
Guaranteed.
y'all have any comments or questions?
Are we just boring you? Anyone?
Because this really is y'all's night, and we want y'all, letting us know what, your thoughts, your ideas, your questions, your comments. We kind of got off track of the particular case.
Yeah, I think that
Don't really know a lot
parents-
of details on it.
Parents who have guns need to be more responsible, especially if they give their 15-year-old a gun. They need to absolutely know where that gun is, if their child has it, if their child does not have it. I don't know a single school in the United States right now that allows you to bring a gun to school. Maybe
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
He did it not because he thought he could. He did it because he wanted to commit acts of evil.
But his parents should have been aware of
And
where
the
the gun was.
rules didn't matter.
I am, do you think it's more by mental illness, or do you think it's more complete and utter irresponsibility of parenting, or something else?
Or all of the above.
Or all the above.
Does
They are not allowed. No, they cannot sell a gun to a 15-year-old.
No.
It's hard to get. Sorry.
I was going to say, does parental irresponsibility, does, mom out running around on the side, does that damage the psyche or mental state of a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 15-year-old?
You think?
Who might grow up angry that they're not getting attention, who might feel that they're worthless, hence other people are worthless, who might want to take that anger out on others. Was he mentally ill? Did the parents contribute? I can see both of those.
I can see having mental issues and not being quote unquote mentally ill. I can see being abandoned and completely feel like you don't have worth because your parents aren't paying any attention to you and probably never have. And I don't think go in and buy a gun. They lied about it. Okay, you didn't say this. Why? Okay, Clay. Why would parents go buy a gun, lie about who it's for, and give it to their 15-year-old who they can't ignore him to the point they don't know that he's a little bit mentally unstable?
Well, I'm going to assume that the parents knew that the kid had been drawing pictures at school of people bleeding, gun, etc.
Unless they have absolutely zero contact with their son, how could they not know something was wrong?
Yeah. Sky Ricky, they pretend it's for them, the gun. Oh, they go in when they buy the gun and purchase the gun. I'm sitting here trying to remember the federal questionnaire, because there's a background check run on everybody, and you have to complete this questionnaire to purchase.
Wait, hang on. What state is this in?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
Well, as far as the federal law, some states can have different laws, different additional restrictions, I guess. And I don't know. Yeah. And see, they didn't necessarily transfer legal ownership to the son. They didn't sell it to him. It's
So their
theirs. They
gun.
just let him use it. So it is still is, I think, legally their gun.
They
But
should be totally responsible.
to me, from what little I've heard on here, feedback from y'all, it just sounds completely inexcusable. Their conduct, their behavior, their lack of attention, their allowing him access to a gun, or even going through the motion of buying him a gun.
Oh, come on. Early Christmas gift? No. Okay, was it like a rifle or a pistol? I have questions. I'm sorry.
I think Sky said earlier it was a rifle.
Like a BB gun rifle or like a 12 gauge? I'm curious.
Yeah, don't know.
I can look it up real quick.
Crumbly.
I got it. Let's do this upside down. Don't know why.
And if he carried it into school, most schools will have, teachers or principals standing around outside as students, come through the doors. Carrying in a rifle, that would be a little difficult.
I'm looking. This was in Michigan. All right, there's paywall. Hang on. You can keep talking while I'm looking.
Yeah, I'm sitting here, I'm sorry, just kind of running through things in my head, different scenarios or whatever. How did he get the gun in school unless it was a pistol? I can't, see a parent. I just can't see any mediocre ass parent buying a kid a gun who's got, some history of displaying or drawing graphic pictures. Again, I just don't know enough, so I'm hesitant to comment on it with any certitude. But
I'm looking for the type of gun. Hang on.
I know the court found him guilty. Did they find the kid guilty? Did they try him as an adult?
Yes, he is in. He has a life sentence.
Good. Lots of parents are in denial. Yes, they are.
And then they charged his parents as well.
The parents should be charged. The parents should pay a penalty. You just
the prosecutors argued the parents did not secure the gun or limit their son's access to it.
see, and how much can you limit a 15-year-old's access to anything in your house unless you build a bank vault? I mean, seriously.
You can have a combination safe that, they don't know the combination to.
Oh, they'll find it.
Oh, and Jennifer used Adult Friend Finder for her little hot fireman.
Oh, now we're getting to the good stuff.
I'm trying to find the firearm.
Yeah, most people don't have a $2,000 gun safe.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to have a key to do because I have the lock on my.
Yeah, but that key would be somewhere near in case it was needed in an emergency. So, if you're going to hide a key to a gun lockbox, where do you hide it? in the drawer up above the box? Do you hide it underneath the box?
I
It's
keep it-
somewhere near.
I keep it on me. That's what I did.
Yeah, but at night you'll have a second key somewhere because you don't want to have to get up and go to the kitchen, get your purse, come back.
Well, no, then I would keep it in my I always kept it on me. Like it was never.
Well,
Just
there's more
out
than
and
one
about.
copy.
No, I just had one.
Okay. Well, I'm just, most parents would keep it near the box so they could access it in an emergency. Okay, we've got a major topic change now. Melissa,
don't.
did you see the puppy STS bought? Looks like a pug.
Who's STS?
Yeah, who's STS? And we may need pics, particularly if Melissa's going to start melting on us. So
It wasn't a Christmas gift. I don't know. Lots of parents are in denial. They did try him as an adult. The father's trial's coming up. It's a slippery slope. It is a slippery slope. Why can't I access these? Sorry.
yeah, I think if the parents had reasonable information, if they had enough information that a reasonable person would say there's an issue here, and that they then buy him a gun, give him access to a gun, whatever.
Okay.
That's a big
Semi-automatic SIG 9M.
Okay. Melissa, the safe was locked, but the code was 000.
Well, that was fucking stupid. Sorry.
Well, I mean, most people are going to choose a very simple code, something that they don't have to think about when they're panicking. And something that's very easy to do. It's just what people do.
Okay, one.
Surviving the survivor.
STS puppy.
Yes, he is a chocolate pug.
Yeah, we
right,
cheerful. Hey, honey. We don't
Melinda's
watch all
getting
that
pumped.
stuff. Melissa.
Surviving the Survivor podcast, YouTube. What is Surviving the Survivor? I thought that was like a reality show or something.
The survivor is, but
That's interesting.
buying a kid a SIG 9mm. Okay.
Pug, he's adorable. We can't wait to be friends with Fred. I'll assume that Fred is the new addition. Cheerful 000 is a code set at the factory. They never bothered to change it.
See, that's on them. I think all of them should go to jail. The whole lot. The whole miserable lot.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
I'm more concerned with they're not addressing their child's issues or instability once they had some red flags. I mean, this is not the first kid to draw bloody pictures and then commit a school shooting.
Nope.
I've heard of this scenario before. I'm not going to Google it and find out the previous history, but I know it's happened before. And any parent in this day and era ought to be damn near aware of that. If they're not fit to be a parent.
No, and you know what? If you can't, or if you feel like you don't have the ability, the will, whatever, to raise a kid, give the baby up for adoption. There are so many people out there that want babies.
Yeah.
And can't.
It's a mother and son podcast. The mother is a
Oh.
Holocaust survivor. They talk about true crime cases. His mother survived the Holocaust. I know that's part of it.
Well, we will check that out. Thanks, guys. Y'all know so much more than we do about everything.
Well, that's the cool
Which is
thing.
why I
We can
love you
all
guys.
exchange information.
Well, I mean, do I need to look up the picture of the pup?
Now we need to get y'all to do that at the book club.
Y'all got to show up at the book club.
That is a
You have to.
subliminal suggestion.
Because if you don't, we're not doing it again. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. Y'all voted. We have to have you there.
All right, Melissa, this is this is straight to you. Maybe his next show will be called STP, Surviving the Pug. Are pugs that difficult to survive?
No.
Do they need a
can't be.
reality show on surviving the pugs?
All right, I'm trying to find. Does anyone know what the show was called where they revealed the Puggy Pug? I'm trying.
They were really focused on the Adelsons, but that case gave so much material. Adelsons,
Yep.
again, I think I need to start following LawTube a little bit closer because we have a lot of bleed. Yeah. They're
Monica
good peeps. They're not into
Jordan.
sensationalism. That helps. And yes,
Okay.
Cheerful, The Great Gatsby.
It is going to be
that-
that.
Yes. And we look forward to having you jumping on in.
Where is it? Where is the puppy? Which video? Is it alive?
Surviving the Pug. Yeah, I got to admit, some of the pics I've seen of Green Bean, he looks a little dangerous. Looks like he's got a little edge there.
He's not.
Ellen, it's at the end of maybe Friday video. So Ellen
Friday.
is researching the video.
Videos. What was Friday's date? Somebody tell me.
Well, today's the 6th, so I'm going to throw out a wild random guess that it was the 5th.
Boo Bear, you know. Okay, let's see.
E, just texted you the Instagram post with photos. So
Oh,
check
sweet.
your Instagram.
Me or you?
You,
Me?
you're E.
Oh, do I even have Instagram?
Yes.
I don't even know how to.
Ellen is not a big gram user.
And Clay gets so mad at me. He's like, I sent you something on Insta. And I'm like, Insta what? I suck. I'm sorry. Oh,
Now, there's
God, I
only
have to-
so much time in the day, and she's usually more
Oh.
on YouTube or some of the news, a little
All right,
bit
I
on
might-
Twitter.
You're gonna have to send him to Clay because I can't log on to
geez.
my Instagram here. I'm the worst. I know. I suck. Texted. I don't have my phone, but I do have this.
Melissa, can I
iPad.
get you to send it to Clay Moff?
Yes, please. Yep. I know. I suck. Oh my God, he's so cute. So
Did you see him?
I can
Did you
see
get
it
the
on my
mail?
iPad. I just can't get onto my. What a kitty patootie. Yeah, you need to send that to Clay. Clay, you got it. Oh, who's the little girl? What a kitty patootie. Yeah. All right, Melissa. Play him off. Because I don't know how to do the things on my Instagram on the computer. I suck. I am the worst human. It's his daughter. She's beautiful. Yeah. Claim off. Clay's waiting impatiently. He's like, "Icky dicky."
No, I'm
Melissa.
using Chrome to access it. I don't normally use Chrome, and I'm sitting here
Mm.
wondering, okay, where do I get DMs on Chrome?
But this will be for Instagram.
Yeah, I'm
Or
on Instagram using Chrome.
you don't know.
Yeah, and I don't see a
She said, let me know if I sent it to the right account. Oh, Scott, bear with us. We're both sick. We're trying to get through the through the thing. And I'm going back up to Lincolnton on Sunday. Clay's going out of town till Saturday. I am leaving on Sunday. My grandfather is having a few issues. Um, he said he was depressed yesterday. And so I'm gonna head up there and make sure everything is good with him. He wasn't eating. He said he had some EOL thoughts, and I did not like that one bit.
Okay.
You got it?
No, I'm on Instagram using Chrome, and there is no message. I have a message on my phone.
Well, then you're just not. You ain't doing it right. Can you screenshot the pictures and then email them to yourself, or I can email them to you? What am I doing?
I'll screenshot it.
Okay.
Give me a second. This is
Harvard lawyer
ridiculous.
Lee. Is that the blonde-headed chick? Y'all. Oh, cheerful. Thank you. I do appreciate that. I just, it really bothers me. He's never had an episode like this before where he just doesn't feel like himself. But he will be, yes, the blondie. I try to get into her. I just can't. I can't do it. I don't know. Something about her, I don't know. We just don't resonate. Okay, Melissa just emailed. I hope you emailed Chloe, not me, because God only knows.
All right. I got the email. I'm having trouble with the Instagram.
Oh, thank you, guys. About Pop. He wants to be 100, and dag nabbit, I want him to get there.
That is
He's the cutest.
STS.
Thanks, guys.
Fred, is that the correct name?
He's Fred.
Fred,
Fredders.
yeah. That's pretty damn cute. Not gonna lie. I mean, I'm a little bit more biased to pugs because of Melissa and her. I mean, she has such a zeal and an enthusiasm for them that it's just damn contagious.
Oh yeah, green beans on our refrigerator
And
now.
so, yeah.
He will be forever.
And before pugs, Boston Terriers, I was like, yeah, cute. Okay, fine. But yeah, they have moved up the rankings just because of my appreciation and love for Melissa and her absolute zeal for pugs.
And we got her a certificate from, it's called an obsession. Her certificate for Green Bean for his first trainings. I sent that to you. I don't know, Clay. I know I did. I don't know if you know where it is.
Okay, I'm trying to go through some of the prior conversation. I'm a little bit behind here.
Okay, yes, and we got lots of love for Gramps, for Pops. They are short summaries. Oh, that's the one I was talking about.
Yeah, covered the Adelson case. Usually does an hour summary each day. Easier than the ones that do 3 hours, though the longer streamers get the drama.
That is true. And I was telling her, I said, I just can't do her. I don't know. Something about her personality and mine just don't mesh.
Who's that?
The Harvard lawyer Lee.
Oh, is that a LawTube channel?
Yes. Well, it's not. I don't know that she's LawTube, but she's Lawish too, maybe. I don't know.
Long blonde hair. Is that the Harvard attorney?
That's what I was asking. Mm-hmm. And Cheerful, he's got 4 years. He's 96. And he is completely healthy. I mean, the only thing he has is a little bit of tiny high blood pressure. That's it.
Your job is not done, Melissa?
No, never.
There are millions more out there.
No, I would actually sent my grandfather's blood work to my doctor, who's also Clay's doctor. And I think that my grandfather's blood work is probably better than mine or Clay's.
Yeah, it made me mad
Um,
because I looked over his blood work and I was like, his is better than mine. It's just irritating. Irritating
Yeah.
as hell. He's got, 40, 35, 40 years on me.
mhm.
His blood work's better than mine.
And he's just
Just
such a, hmm?
just irritating.
Well, he's just an affable guy. He's just always
He
making
really is.
jokes. He turned in his driver's license because he and I had to go get an ID. And he said, I found today, he said, I was looking in a cabinet and I found my driver's license. He said, so I guess I can drive now. And I said, but you shouldn't. He said, why not? No, we're not doing it. Not going to
Yeah,
be a thing.
he actually gave up his car a while back. And I think he realizes that. I think he was just kind of irritating Ellen because she always chauffeurs
Oh,
him
he was
around.
just making a joke.
Yeah.
That's what he does. And I said, you can drive circles around the lot or the property. How about that?
You cut donuts in your yard.
Well, he drives his tractor all the time anyway. So, I mean, do what he wants to. 96 years old.
That's fine.
But we got him a TV when I was there. Like, did I say that before at any point? We got him a 55-inch television. He had like a 20-inch, and he couldn't see it. And so Clay did some research. I was like, dude, we got to get Papa TV. So Clay did some research. We found a good one for a decent price at Best Buy. And I took him there. We had to figure out how to get it into my car to get it home. Got it all set up. And he loves it. He's like, I can actually see. And then he looked at me and say, but it's not quite big enough. Could you make it a little bit bigger? And I'm like,
He is really a genuinely good-natured guy. I had the chance to meet him, for an afternoon, and he is really truly affable. It's a good descriptive term, but a good-natured guy. No pretense.
what happened? Did y'all hear that?
I don't know. Dog just went berserk. So
Is someone in the house?
no, Mahoney's outside, so I think it probably had to do with Mahoney.
Okay. And yes, we do love Grandpa. My little pop, he's the best. TV, 65. Listen, I had to go to the restroom when we got back from picking up the television. And by the time I had tinkled, he had gotten the 55-inch out of my car and had it in the house. He was so excited. It was crazy. I was just like, Pop, I could have gotten that for you. You weren't supposed to do this by yourself. He's like, I got it. And I was like, okay. So then I unboxed it and I was like, give me a minute. And I went outside and let his dog out. And then I heard furniture moving around because the TV stand he had, the TV, it's a corner cabinet. It wouldn't hold the 55-inch. So I heard him move. I was like, shit. So I go in there. He's already gotten like the table that it will fit on into the living room. And I'm like, Pop, stop. We can do this together. You don't have to like move everything. And so we got the corner cabinet out, moved it in the other room where the table that he had grabbed was. And I vacuumed up everything and then we got it all put. And then he sat down and he was like, let's watch some TV. So, okay. So I got it all set up, got him on Netflix, and we watched Equalizer 3. I think that was the one that was on Netflix at the time, and I set up some recommendations for him. So he's just so damn cute.
Yeah, and it makes me feel bad didn't do it sooner. I mean, he's pretty active for 95, but still 96, but still a lot of his time is, spent watching TV. And so it was pretty big deal to him to get a decent TV that he could actually see and decent color. And and he could control. The other one, he had a little problem controlling. So
Well, because it was
was
in this weird corner cabinet and it was just small and
yeah.
it was just strange. Feels like how my great grandpa was. Listen, if I can keep him happy, that is the big challenge, and I might have to talk to his doctor about that. So we'll see. He's really
Melissa,
independent. Oh,
we're going to pressure him into bringing Fred to LA when they come for their book signing.
sweet.
We will of course expect pics.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
it
Melissa,
may
I have
almost.
Mhm.
I was going to say it may almost be time to have another pet update and collect new pictures of people's pets.
Oh, the puppies. All
Yeah,
the
we could do that
puppies.
once a year.
Yeah, I'd love
And,
that.
I think some people maybe missed last year's, and so that might not be
Probably.
a bad idea. Chunk's gotten bigger, fatter, and ornerier. But y'all have seen Chunk. That would not be nothing new there.
Chunk has to be seen. That's just his thing.
Oh wow!
Oh God, I'm sorry, Sky Ricky.
Did not know that.
I
But,
do. I wear the Star of David. I don't know if y'all have noticed, and a cross. My cross chain has broken, so I've got to. I'm a Christian who supports Jews. I just figured that's the easiest way to explain it. But I support Israel. I support all the things. I don't believe in. I don't believe in a lot of the policies that are being pushed. Israel deserves to be protected, and I don't like all the riots and all the things that are going on that are pro Hamas. I told Clay early today, I said, Nancy Pelosi could never get that underground railway done in California. Maybe she should have hired Hamas, because they can build a heck of a lot of tunnels quite well.
Yeah, no people on either side should live under the threat, domain, or fear of a terrorist group.
No.
So,
no.
I hope for peace for both. If the Palestinians want their own state, I hope for that. I hope that they can elect a good representative government that won't constantly pursue war with its neighbor.
Yeah, and you can't leave Hamas in power. That's just not an option.
Yeah, this is a group that drags their political opponents down the street behind cars.
Yeah, and all of our tax money sent over to the Gaza Strip went towards building these freaking tunnels.
Yeah. So,
which is just sad.
But condolences to you, Sky.
Yes. And Melissa, I put in there the diary of one of my ancestors that went across the country to California for the big gold rush. So I think, or the Panama something, it's coming.
So, all right. So what else is going on in the world?
I think we should do a swoop.
I should have this.
Show me the money! Show me the money!
That Melissa is the one that actually figured out how to do that on StreamYard. And so not only did she put the swoop together, but she greatly improved my life by figuring out how to do that swoop in one fell swoop without having to click 10 different
She
buttons.
did it for you. You can't say she showed you how. She did it for you. And yes, Melissa, we can adjust and get Green Bean up there a little bit quicker. It'd be awesome.
So
that would be awesome.
If any of you has any suggestions, additions, versions of your own, we'd love to see them. So we want to encourage your creativity because honestly, creativity is not my gift.
No,
Ellen
it's
is
not.
pretty creative, but she has a lot
Mm.
going on with some other stuff. So
The grandpappy.
anything that y'all have, we would love to see. And yes, it is a great swoop. It does get your attention.
It will wake you up. One more time, Clay.
Whoops, wrong thing.
He takes a while. You gotta be quicker.
Show me the money!
Well, see, I can't have. Okay, Melissa, your next challenge. I can't have it up and ready and follow the conversation, the chat.
You just hit brand
I know.
and then
I hit brand.
Show me the money! Show me!
that was fast.
Yes, but you have to hit brand, and then you have to scroll down. And I overshot it, so I had to scroll back up
Oh,
and
you
then
went too
click on
far.
it. Yeah.
Tallulah.
But-
I know you heard the things. It's okay.
She likes the
Anywho.
swoop.
Can't we move like the? No, we can't. Maybe we could readjust all this stuff so that you can get it quicker, Melissa. I have, given Melissa so many little ideas.
I still like the music too. If I Was a Rich Man.
That's a good one.
Melissa, make a pug or Clay on a roof.
Like you, Clay?
A pug would probably be far, far cuter.
No, you got to put the Clay on there.
Like Fiddler on the Roof. I actually like Fiddler on the Roof. I don't normally like musicals, but Fiddler on the Roof has a good story and really good music. So,
Mhm.
It'll be on, and I'll be singing the songs as it's going. So, Fiddler on the Roof. It's not
Yeah.
up to Jerry Maguire's standard as far as movies go,
Show me the money. I know, right?
but it's a good movie. It's a damn good movie. Hadn't seen it in years. May need to watch it again.
No.
Yeah,
I've seen
Ellen-
it like 20 times. You can watch that when I'm out of town next week. Going to see the Pops.
Yes.
You can watch it every single night I'm gone.
So what else is going on in the world? Obviously some things going on in the markets. If anybody's interested in finance.
Oh wait, the green hearts. I get it now. See, there's different color hearts for different people. We have green. Thank you, Melissa.
Why green?
Well, cause like EDB has purple. The purple hair, the purple, that's her color. Okay, Kurt has orange. I think Ian has black. I don't know what color Rob is besides red because all those hookers. Sorry. Ours are green.
Ian has black.
I think so. Last I checked.
That's funny.
They may have changed since then, but last I checked, they were still black.
That's funny. Yeah, like I say, we've still got some attachment to how'd that get up there? I don't know though. I probably did that.
You did that. Let me remove-
Actually, we'll do that as kind of an intro to the markets. Don't know how many people paying attention,
Not
but
today.
Kathy Woods.
It's been all political today.
No, nope. All today has been Toby Keith.
Well, American
Toby
Girl.
Keith passed.
And American guys will always stand up and salute, will always recognize when they see Old Glory flying. There's a lot
Yeah,
of
I
men
assume
dead.
everybody already knew that and was familiar with that.
No, there was a lot of action today in Congress. It was fascinating.
Uh,
He's searching some stomach cancer, I
Talking
think.
about?
Yeah, stomach or pancreatic, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
and he was
I'm sorry, you had to
62.
suffer my singing. Yep.
But he was a fun entertainer, particularly his first sets of videos, the songs he wrote, like How Do You Like Me Now? That is probably my favorite.
That is your favorite.
Yeah,
Right.
I'll belt the hell out of that one.
Let's see who can keep this going.
Also, little known fact was that he's the guy that gave Taylor Swift her start. He's the one that got her a contract. So, everybody makes a mistake. I don't hold that against him. But most people aren't aware of that, particularly with all the Taylor Swift stuff going on now.
All right, let's see if we can do like a Toby Keith lyrics. I started it. Let's see. Action in Congress. They were trying to do their jobs. They were trying. They were trying with lots of people that really didn't want them to.
Yeah, what the Senate failed to pass a bill on immigration that the administration wanted, and Republicans in the House failed to pass a bill on January the 6th that the administration greatly opposed.
No, they haven't voted on that yet.
Yeah, they voted on it tonight. They lost by 2 votes.
No, that was Mayorkas.
Oh, you're right. You're right. That was impeaching Mayorkas, a bill the administration greatly opposed.
Yeah, we had 4 Republicans who decided, or 3 who said nay, and then 1 who changed their vote. So I don't know what the hell was going on there. One did not vote. 1 Republican did not vote.
I've seen sometimes, and it's a procedural issue, that in order to bring it up again, it has to be somebody that was opposed to the bill. That keeps supporters from endlessly bringing up a bill they can't pass. So sometimes the speaker will change his vote in opposition so that he can bring it up and reassign it. So that's a procedural issue.
That the Speaker of the House.
Oftentimes it's the speaker. It may be somebody else who really supports the bill.
Voted against.
Yeah, we'll vote against it.
Why? Again, I'm sorry.
Because that allows him to bring it back up for reconsideration later after he's had time to work on some more votes.
That's what the guy from which state did. He said, I bring it up for the word you just said, reconsideration.
Yeah, but he has to vote against it in order to do that.
Somebody did. It may have been him.
Yeah. So, again, I haven't seen the individual vote, but that's it.
Come on, y'all. Give me some more lyrics. Keep it going. I'm trying here. Just in honor of Toby Keith.
Well, while Ellen is doing that, I will give y'all an incentive to try to focus harder on Toby Keith. Y'all may or may not be familiar with Cathie Woods. She's kind of a prominent figure in the investment community. She's the CEO of ARK Investments. And she said earlier this week in a speech that the markets are focused on the wrong things. that they should be focused on the upcoming deflation, which she attributes or will occur because of AI, artificial intelligence. Her point is that technological improvements throughout most of history have been deflationary. And she's saying that AI will be a bigger event technology wise than most of the others in history. So, first of all, is AI a huge big tech innovation?
It's a government weapon.
I'm kind of having my doubts.
There were 12 different institutions that were given funds to look into AI and how to use AI to get rid of hate speech before it even comes out, or disinformation or misinformation.
Ellen, bless your heart.
What? No, that was
Has nothing
today.
to do with what I was saying.
Oh, sorry. I was typing and thinking and
Did I mention that I like to go in, and focus and develop, a series of arguments for a proposition? Ellen's kind of like has a more diverse train of thought, let's say.
my brain's in
Right.
20 different places at the same time all the time.
Too sweet. So, first of all, does Woods have it correct that AI will be greatly instrumental in changing our lives? Will it be a significant change in technology? I have some doubts about that personally. I know a lot of people fear it. A lot of people have concerns and issues. So far, AI has been somewhat of a bust. Hasn't lived up to expectations. Does that mean it won't continue to or will? We get to see, but I'm still a little cautious on it, on its net impact. Right now, most people are using it just as an advanced tool, as an advanced search engine or advanced proofer for documents, whatever. It does speed up a lot of work. To me, the main thing that Woods misses in her argument that AI is going to result in decentralization is that the whole climate today, the monetary policy climate, the political climate, are vastly different than they have been the previous 150 years of the Industrial Revolution. And a big component to that is the Federal Reserve. For much of the Federal Reserve's existence, it has been influential, but until recently, it never really sought to try to control the economy, to actually control the economy. Well, enter subprime crisis, 2008, 2009, 2010. You had that whole economic collapse, which was even fueled by inappropriate Fed policies, political pressures to make housing more affordable. So we've talked about causes of the subprime crisis before. Noble goals, maybe, but nonetheless. So, we transitioned to 2009 when the Fed openly, for the first time, started doing whatever was necessary to manipulate the markets. They basically were goal-seeking objectives. I've used the term the Bernanke put. That's a very common expression. Are y'all familiar with the Bernanke put? Basically, whenever the stock markets would start dropping, Bernanke would dump more cash into the markets. He would provide more liquidity. Obviously, the big investment banks would then take this money and invest it in the markets and stop the drop. It's called the Bernanke put. during the 12 years of this use of Federal Reserve facilities and money, there were only one down year. Over the 12-year period, there was only one down year, and the market was down 6%. This is the longest and strongest stock market we had since 1930s. Even the Reagan boom in the 80s and 90s didn't enjoy that kind of winning streak, didn't enjoy that kind of success. You know, the past couple of years, we've had interest rates hiked from 0.2% to 5%. A massive increase in interest expense, massive, which normally would cause the market to severely react. And it's still up. Why? Is it because the economy's going so good? Actually not. The economy pretty much sucks overall.
Not getting
But
better either.
the market expects the Fed to start cutting and to start providing that liquidity again, to start pumping free money. They're desperate, absolutely bloody desperate for free money. Now, we talked about the money supply. Where did inflation get started? Here's the picture of it. This is the total amount of money in the system, in the economy. And you can see that during the COVID crisis, there was just a almost vertical spike. And then the money supply increased at a far greater rate than it had previously. Inflation, system-wide inflation, is always, always, always a monetary event. You have more dollars chasing the same amount of goods. Now, you can have localized inflation due to supply shortages. You know, computer chips for cars cause the prices of cars to go up. Well, that didn't necessarily impact the price of food. But when everything in the system is going up, it's because there's more money chasing it. So the money supply grew, inflation started hitting double digits. And you remember, prior to that, the Federal Reserve was sitting there going, oh, don't worry about it. It's transitory. It's temporary. It won't be a problem. Well, it kept getting worse and worse and worse. It hit 9%, almost double digits. And the Fed starts hiking rates. So since then, they have rapidly hiked rates. They also began a program of trying to shrink the monetary supply called QT, quantitative tightening. And you can see here how the money supply shrank from March in 22 through May of 23. It's not rapid, but there is shrinkage. Well, since May of 23, you'll notice that it went down just a tad, but remained fairly flat. And recently it started going back up again. So, you know, this kind of begs the question, is the Fed still trying to reduce the money supply? You know, Bernanke was just quoted this week as saying, yeah, we're not going to cut rates anytime soon. So the market was a little disappointed about that. But now the market's back thinking, hey, maybe they're starting QE again. And if so, if they are starting to inflate the money supply, you can pretty much anticipate what those results are going to end up like. Now, we're kind of talking about AI specifically and why the technology of AI won't cause devaluation. One, like I'm kind of indicating, it's not really being that successful at costing jobs. It's not really greatly improving productivity. Maybe yet, but people had much higher hopes of it. What is it being used for? Well, This is one of the biggest examples. It's being used to create Instagram influencers. This is AI. This is not an actual photograph. This is AI. And this is a creation of a model by the name of Sika, 28-year-old model from Berlin, who created an AI version of herself, an enhanced version of herself, obviously. But her AI clone has been extremely, fabulously more successful than her career was. This site
Terrible.
earns a solid 25 to 30 grand a month. Does that really sound like that's going to cost some jobs? You know, if you're an
You think?
Instagram influencer, you may have more limited career options. You may not be able to compete with AI. Or you may do like this influencer did and use AI instead of her own pictures because it was more successful. And that's where I see AI going. For example, AI software. A lot of people thought it would replace a lot of software coders. Well, no, the coders are just going to AI and having AI write the code, which they then can clean up, tweak, or whatever. But AI makes them more efficient coders because it can do large bulk of code a lot quicker than they can. So AI didn't replace that job. It just made them perform a little bit better. Now, maybe it will reduce future hiring because these software engineers are better coders, faster coders.
I don't like any of this AI stuff.
Well, I mean, it's here. Practical reality. It's here, whether we like it or not.
Practical reality is that the government is using it to.
All sorts of people are using it, but it's not the question is it going to cause devaluation? Is it going to increase production and output and efficiency so much that it puts people out of jobs and causes devaluation in cost, devaluation, lower prices? And I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't seem to be replacing people yet. Now, actors maybe have a short career ahead. But right now, artists, software writers, legal assistants, are y'all familiar with that? Did y'all hear about that lawyer who got called out in court because he used AI to write his brief?
Yeah.
And for some reason, AI came up with a fake case. And he didn't proof it. He just gave it as is to the court. And so he introduced a fake case into the court during his brief, and the judge tore him a new one. So AI has some risk. Citing bogus, made-up cases will not inure you to the good favor of the court. And there are some things that AI just really struggles with mastering, like driving a car. You know, so AI so far has been more of a tool than a job destroyer. Will that remain the same? I don't know. There seems to be a lot of AI narrators on YouTube. There is, but again, they're just taking what's out there and putting it together. They're kind of like a glorified search engine. They're not really replacing any of the commentators necessarily. The commentators are kind of using it to help write their production. Melissa, I want an AI version of myself.
Me too.
No, y'all are perfect as it is. We can open up an AI OnlyFans and make millions. You would not be.
Lord.
There are people doing that.
You've got to be kidding me.
No, there are people doing that. I think this girl has a AI OnlyFans site. I don't know for sure. I will make it official.
What's that?
I think she does. Maybe not. But if she doesn't yet, if some aren't out there yet, they will be before long.
No doubt.
I
It's
remember
just kinda
hearing about
stupid.
that. The attorney. Yeah.
Mhm.
I can't believe that an attorney would be citing cases he wasn't familiar with, had no idea of, and just, pull them off a random generator. Do delivery
Crazy.
robots count as AI?
Yes.
No, because they're given like a street map in a fixed direction. They don't really adapt to any information. They're just a
Moffat.
robot. It's like the
Moffat.
Roomba that vacuums the house. Ellen?
Um, okay, so when the iPhone came out in 2012 or 13, it started tracking where you are. It started knowing exactly where your home was, where your work was, depending upon where you went. So delivery robots are definitely AI. I mean, the amount of information that's out there that they're collecting as they go along, yeah, it's AI.
Yeah, that's not AI. AI is the ability to adapt its own code
Yeah.
and create new, like these Instagram AI. There's basic code out there that, this is how you draw hands, faces, whatever. It takes that code, assembles it, and then is refining it so that it looks more and more like real people. And as you
So do you
saw in
think
that particular picture, that's starting to look like very real people.
so do you think that the delivery robots that are going out there are not getting that information is not getting back to
I don't
an
think those
AI?
delivery robots are making decisions on their own. They're
Okay.
told what route to go.
Do you think no, they're given a map and they figure it out. But do you think that they're not giving information about because they have to have a camera, what they're seeing, what's going
Yeah.
on, that's not getting back to an AI?
Oh, it could be getting to an AI. I don't know. I haven't seen
So
any
the
evidence
AI
that it
is
is.
using that in
Well, the
a
AI,
fake circumstance. The AI can be using that in order to get information about what's going on.
yeah,
I don't trust delivery robots, Melissa.
an
I just
AI,
think they
an
are.
AI could use a camera. It could use Alexa. That doesn't make the camera or Alexa AI.
No, it just makes it a part of the AI.
Yeah, any computer, any information, digital information device could be a part of AI.
I just think that this is so much deeper than any of us think it is. They'll have their own name. If you say their name, do they respond? I'm curious.
There are so many delivery robots in our neighborhood, and they all have their
So
own name.
curious. Because I don't trust any of these little robots. Thank God we don't have that here yet.
Oh, it's coming.
I know it is, but they better.
If we had a
have-
denser population, it would
Mhm.
already be here.
Y'all had to chase a coyote down the street, what, 2 nights ago?
Something like that.
3 nights ago? Yeah. I know, it's so crazy. But cheerful talking about yours. But no, like I just walked outside, take the puppies out, and there's a coyote standing in the intersection, lit, street lights everywhere. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And he looked over at the dogs and he stood there and waited. And I was just like, nope, not my puppies. Opened the door to the house, let them in, and I ran after, even with RSV, I chased after that damn coyote. And then to the end of the cul-de-sac, and then I heard others rustling around in there, and I was like, nope, not me, not my dogs, not today. I will kill you. I will go to jail. That's fine. You're not taking my pup. I know Melissa and many others of you, because you're not legally allowed to shoot a coyote if they are eating your dog. I'll be in jail. That's fine. Not my dogs. They sense
Well-
when you're there and what cars can cross the street. Interesting. Well, they're intelligent. Oh, sorry, I'm not putting these up, am I? Sorry.
Melissa, so far, no, they don't respond when you talk to them, but they sense when you're there and what cars
And
are so they
cars.
can cross the street.
Where? I think she meant.
Yeah, where cars are so they can cross the street. And Ellen is not indicating that she would shoot a coyote to save her dogs. She is indicating
I would
that
never.
she would be close to the dogs and that as the coyote was approaching attacking, she might fear for her own life. And in defense of her own life, she would shoot
Might
the
shoot a
coyote.
coyote.
Yes.
Because,
Of course, self-defense is always permissible.
yes,
Protecting a dog from a coyote is not.
it's illegal.
Yes, it's illegal. So if you see a coyote attacking your dog, you can't,
It was coming
you
towards
can
you.
try to scare it away, you can yell or whatever. But if you fear that that coyote might attack you, then you are certainly well within your rights to use self-defense.
Yeah, we don't have a native coyote population. It just kind of happened. I'm not sure who brought the coyotes over, but
I don't know. Coyotes have always been around here, I think.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
They showed
Yeah,
up, I think, about 10, 12 years ago. They weren't always here.
Yeah. They've been here ever since I've been here.
I think they swam over. I don't know. Excellent
I mean-
defense argument. It is it not? But yes, that is we do face that
Yeah.
fear. I mean, we've seen a few in the past week. And it freaks me out taking the dogs out.
Yeah, we
It
have to
freaks me
be
out.
very careful because those damn coyotes are quick. You know, and they can snatch and run, and there's no way you could catch them. Run off in
And
the
you
woods.
said they lead, like Tallulah was trying to chase one and I yelled at her. She came right back. And Clay was saying that they lure like the one into the pack. Isn't that what you told me?
Yeah.
Explain
Yeah,
that.
they'll have one run through like it's a lone a lone wolf. And you know, animals may be protecting their own territory or family or whatever, and so they may give chase. Well, that chase just leads them right into a pack,
The pack.
2, 3, 4 others, and they all attack at once. We've actually been out walking and heard a pack probably
think about
50 or 75 feet away attacking an animal, and can't
It was
won't even
it
try.
was a deer. It was awful.
Yeah, won't even try to communicate to you the sounds, but it's not something you want to hear. There was a fence cutting off the walkway from the woods, but they were close. We couldn't see them.
We could hear them. Oh my God.
Yeah, you know, we're in a kind of a subtropical area, so the woods get pretty dense with the underbrush, trees, and growth. Excuse me. So we couldn't see them, but they were close, 50, 75 feet, and it was a ruckus. It was a
And the sound of the
Painful
deer
noise.
was screaming, being just
yeah.
ripped apart. It was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, like raptors. Yes, Melissa. They move north for new territory as they reproduce. Well, they are on an island right now, and they're not going across the bridge. There's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, I
They're
mean
here,
the
and the deer
intercoastal.
population is going down, and the coyote population is going up.
So they have no natural predator here. So as the population continues to grow, available deer drop. They obviously will become more aggressive in their attempts to secure food.
And they will come after your little dogs.
Yeah. Toulouse all fluff. She's not really chunky enough to make a good meal. Chunk, on the other hand.
Now, if they grab Chunk, I could probably run up and just grab them because they would have a hard time carrying him off. He's a
He's a
meaty
big-ass
little
Morky.
dude. He
Yeah.
is.
He's big ass Morky.
Like raptors. Yes, like raptors. They are eating up. They are. They're killing all the deer. And I hate that because we used to have like 8-10 deer that would just kind of run down the street out here. And there aren't that many anymore.
Yeah,
It
and
was kind of
part of that is that they built a greenway, a big walkway. We're bordered on the north, on the west by
federal lands.
federal lands because the largest armory on the East Coast is right across the river, the Cape Fear River. So they have a blast zone. So there's literally, I would say, 200 yards of federal land that our house is 75 yards away from.
Mm-hmm.
And so on the edge of this federal land, they built a walkway and then they put up a fence.
Mm.
So
Like a
that
12-foot fence, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty high. And so that cuts off a lot of the traffic we used to get from deer, fox, whatever. So it's much harder for them to roam on this side of the fence. The commandant of the armory just doesn't want people walking through that land. There were, little trails, walkways. You could access the ICW.
ICW, Intercoastal Waterway,
there.
ICWW.
It was nice walking through the woods, but that was part of the deal. He agreed to have that walkway on the edge of the federal lands if they built a fence to keep people out of the federal lands. So they're
All right,
real
now-
touchy about that.
And Melissa, you and I know would be in jail together. I feel you.
No, you wouldn't, because you defend yourself. You are perfectly legal
Okay.
to defend yourself.
Okay, yes.
Ellen,
But cheerful. Really? Ooh, the appetizer.
Tallulah the
He's my
appetizer,
little love bug.
the entree.
I
Chunk
mean,
would definitely be the main course.
cheerful. I can't say a word. I mean, Chunk started itching the other day, and Clay said, "I'll shoot off the fleas." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, I can shoot those fleas off."
He's got a
Like,
flea
no.
right between the eyes.
That is Chunk. No, we don't shoot. No, you're fine, cheerful. I get it. I get the humor. I was just giving you crap. But I do love my puppies. But yeah, Clay said he was going to shoot the fleas off. So you're fine. Listen, I live with worse than that. So
I guess I can take some credit for that. Thank you.
mhm.
I mean, you did give me this damn virus, so I owe you something.
Lord have mercy.
Every
This is
every
like the
time I
worst
cough,
shit ever. Uh-huh.
every time I cough, I go,
He says,
"Thank you, Ellen."
you.
Got
I
to
know,
give
right?
credit where credit's due.
I'm almost 3 weeks in. I should be about done.
Yeah, she's not bouncing back too fast. I've done a lot better than she is.
Well, he
So-
started taking medications as soon as I got it.
No, I took them one day and then stopped. 'Cause
Sharon,
thought,
I know.
I have
I told him, I said, Clay, we share everything. We're roommates. I give you, we share all kinds of stuff. He was like, yeah, not viruses, not bodily fluids, none of that stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, well, you know.
not at the top of the list to share. One quick thing, finishing up about the Fed. How is the Fed doing now? That's kind of easy to sum up with one picture.
Not too good.
This is the Fed's net revenues. Up here is zero. Now you can tell since 2010 they have made money, and understand the money they make, they collect interest on behalf of the Treasury, and then out of that interest they pay their expenses and then remit the rest to the U.S. Treasury. Well, their remissions for the past year have pretty much dropped to zero. They're actually about 145, 150 billion in the red. So how does the Fed handle $150 billion in net cash outflow? They print it. They create it.
Which means the value goes in the
So
toilet.
here with the Fed's current policies, back to creating money again, which is kind of the opposite of what they say they want. So they're doing things with one hand and saying things with the other. It's like, make up your damn mind. Cheerful. That could have come from a New Yorker cartoon. Okay, I'll leave that.
Tulu is expressing her true self right now with her little scarf. Print more,
She
worth
is-
less. Yeah,
She
I
is
know, right?
perfectly happy being a little diva, actually. True story.
She loves being a diva.
Yeah, she really does.
Cheerful meant print more, worth less.
Yes. That is the whole idea. So, there's some talk that inflation is under control. Remember when we first started talking about inflation, I talked about it normally takes 5 to 7 years to bring it down consistently, that it, gets low, then it goes back up, gets low, goes back. Well, seems like we might be headed toward repeating the same patterns.
So
we
when's the
learn nothing
last-
from history.
When is I don't have my glasses on. I can't see those little tiny things.
2024. It's through last month.
Oh, this is monthly.
No, this is 2011, 2010.
Okay.
This is 2024.
I would love to see like 1925 through 30.
Oh, that's doable, I think. I think they have the
Can you make
records
that
of the
happen?
date out there. Not real quick,
that would-
no.
Oh, but eventually.
Eventually.
Get a little chilly. Tallulah took
Yeah,
the scarf.
It would probably only take 20 or 30 hours.
Oh, well, I was just saying, I mean, it would be cool because I
Yeah.
don't feel like we're headed towards an economic bounce back. We might bounce, but
Well,
not back.
There's some interesting other info in that regard.
Hmm.
Jobs number came out, looked like a great number, but it was hokey as hell. And I will have more on the specifics of that data coming up in a short here. But what we've seen just the last few days, you've got companies like Estee Lauder, GM Propulsion, Freight Industries, Liberty
Estee
Mutual, Penske Logistics, Chicago Med Center, Deutsche, Regions Bank, Walgreens, Wall Street Journal, Cargill Meat, NASDAQ, even UPS, American
say
Air,
Estee Lauder.
Bose. Yes. All of those have announced major layoffs just this
No
week.
shit. Okay. I was going to say,
So-
don't say they're doing good.
So far this month, about 10,000 jobs have been cut. And we're on the 6th of the month. That's on pace for about 60 to 70,000 jobs lost this month. Not greatly different from last month. Now, according to Epic, there were 36,600 bankruptcy filings in January. This is a 17% increase from last year. Now understand
Last
this,
year was awful.
filings have increased year over year for 18 consecutive months. So for the last 18 consecutive months, every monthly bankruptcy is higher than the previous year for that month. Bankruptcies aren't increasing every month, but if you look at them, they vibrate and the trend is going up. There is some different monthly effects, some seasonality. Morgan just issued a sell on Deutsche bonds. Deutsche, big international bank, is in trouble based on fears of their U.S. property holdings.
Imagine that.
If we look at disability claims are actually a pretty good sign of a recession. And this goes back to about 2014. You see they hover between 19 and 20. Well, starting with COVID, they jumped up to 23. They're now up to about 25,000 million, sorry. That's pretty hefty.
What
People
about
will file more for disability when they lose their jobs and can't find another. Do what now?
what about refugee?
Don't have data on that right now.
Okay, I'm trying to get you
Now,
some.
all of this, all of this is not doom porn. We got jokes too.
Do we?
Okay. This week, Jerome Powell, Jay Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, stated publicly that banks can handle the commercial real estate problem. So how cool is that? You think we don't got jokes? We got jokes.
He lies like a rug.
Okay. Not seeing a great reaction to my jokes. So back to the doom porn.
No, I think it's hilarious, except for it's just complete bullshit. Like they lie and lie and lie. I'm done with lies. I'm done.
Well, since y'all
I
didn't
want
like my
truth.
jokes, I'll tell you that a survey of Manhattan real estate this week showed a record high vacancy rate of 40%. In Manhattan, the financial center of the universe.
Those are the places that people buy to launder money and keep them empty when there is available. No, you don't think so?
No.
Because they really need places for the migrants.
Yeah, no.
No, I'm just saying.
There will be some prime real estate up for sale shortly.
Nah.
Cheap. I know some of y'all are out in beautiful, lovely, sunny California.
Moffat.
Well, just saw where California is running a rather disastrous $68 billion shortfall in their budget this year.
Yeah.
That's 32% of their budget this year.
I was actually watching Bill Maher and Patrick Bet David, and fascinating. It was on Club Random. Fascinating interview. I really, really hope that anyone watches it. Everyone watches it. But he was saying that the reason that there's a deficit is every one of the past 3 years, the migration out of California has been ginormous.
Okay.
And so the money, the taxes, it's just not there anymore.
Well, the good news is for the people that are still there, they're going to have to raise taxes on the tax base. So you can expect
Again,
tax increase. They're 32 billion in the hole just through a third of this year.
Melissa, move to the free state of North Carolina or Florida. Any of you.
And
I mean,
And
good God.
understand this problem, this deficit is structural. This is not a temporary economic effect. They face huge deficits going forward every year. As
Yeah.
Ellen has stated, much of their tax base has immigrated. Spending is soaring. The budget, for example, has gone from 200 billion in 2019 to 308 billion this year. Revenues are dropping. A lot of people are moving out of state. Silicon Valley is being hit hard with layoffs. There's an economic downturn. Nothing that will correct quickly. So the good news is for those out in California, expect more taxes by Christmas. Merry
Okay,
Christmas.
hang on. We got a few
Cheerful.
things to catch up with.
Well, if banks can handle it, why aren't they doing that? That's my joke. She got my
That was
joke.
the joke.
Yeah, that's the $1 million question. Cold and rainy. Well, your governor's going to warm you up a little bit with some tax increases. And yes, we know a lot of people have left.
Yeah, tons. And they're migrating even more now. Cheerful.
So everybody will be moving into a tent.
God, I hope not. Just leave the not
not
so
the
free state
elite.
of California.
Not the elites.
No.
The elites will not be moving into a tent.
Melissa, I highly recommend Florida.
I need to be very specifically temperature controlled.
Or
After
Texas,
California, I think Florida might be too hot, too humid.
Texas, North Carolina. We have ups and
Um,
downs though.
Yeah, I mean, where she is in California, normally you've got, 60s to 80s, a little breeze, some rain every now and then.
Upper
Melissa,
Texas, North
you
Texas.
say it's cold and rainy. What's the temperature out there where you are now?
and
cheerful.
cheerful.
I love how you say more taxes with a straight face.
He says it because he doesn't live there.
Yes. That is an advantage when I'm talking about tax increases. Now wait till I get my next homeowner's insurance bill. You will see anything but a straight face.
Now, let me just say there are at least 2 states I know of that don't charge state income tax. That would be Texas and Florida. Are there any others?
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Friend
Is the state's first partner her?
here, LOL.
She is legitimately awesome, though.
Florida.
Yeah, Florida is way too humid. I was thinking of that from being out in California. California is very dry. I remember being out in what was that Eagles song?
Hotel
Lodi.
California.
No,
Oh.
Lodi.
What?
Being out in the middle of Lodi at a phone booth wearing a suit, looking across the street, and it's 105 degrees, and I'm not even breaking a sweat. Now,
It's not humid.
being from Alabama, if it was 105, my whole suit would have been soaking wet. Vast
yeah.
difference. At the moment, it's 49 here. That is cold for y'all.
It is 42 here, so I can't.
Yeah.
She's the governor's
She's
the first
governor's
partner.
wife. Oh yeah, okay. Didn't catch that reference.
Dude, South Dakota, it goes from 110 to negative 30 in a year span. Yeah. Coastal access. Carolina Beach, North Carolina, honey. Here we are.
Yeah, I was sitting there thinking if you go south, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, you're going to get humidity and more heat than you do in Southern California.
Yep.
North Carolina, you're going to get a little bit worse winters. But here on the coast, the humidity, if you're close to the coast, is not bad. If you're 10 miles in, humidity can
It's
be
awful.
pretty tough.
Yeah. Coastal access. Yeah. We're, you got to come visit us still. We're like 5 blocks from the beach, 5 short blocks, like 2 city blocks. Dakotas do have dinosaurs. They do. And I really want to read Raptor Red. Anyway. They don't have income tax.
Yeah, I think you're right. There's still a few other states that don't have income taxes.
But the temperature sways, oh my God.
Yeah, the winters,
I've been there, done that. Winters are just abusive and awful, and so are the summers.
Yeah. Yeah, I would truly love to move to Western Montana just because it's so beautiful. But living in 30-degree below weather for 3 or 4 or 5 months at a time, being in sub-freezing weather for 9 months of the time, yeah, no. Even if the 2 or 3 months is just absolutely stunningly, incredibly beautiful, what I'll visit during those 2 months and enjoy it, and then go back to wherever I came from, somewhere in Tennessee, because it's no taxes.
All right, Tallulah, Melissa needs 74 degrees and 60% humidity.
Yeah, that's the thing about California.
You should stay where you are because there's nowhere else.
It's hard to beat that climate, and the state is naturally gifted with beauty.
Like LA Story. State. It's the same. It's the same every day. It's just, except for today. I know you've had some storms. I hope you haven't flooded or anything, Melissa. We haven't heard about. I know there was a huge storm that came through yesterday, day before. Yeah, I don't know where else to get that kind of weather. I don't know.
Yeah, Melissa knows her limits. What was the Clint Eastwood movie? A man's got to know his limits. Well, when people need to know their limits. I can't say it in the Clint Eastwood voice, but you get the idea.
I know. Well, sometimes you have to adapt. I love you to pieces. You have to move on and adapt. I mean, we live in Wilmingwood, which is the East Coast Hollywood. So,
Yeah,
and I know lots of people that work in the business.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to identically match California's climate. It's just ideally situated if you don't want seasonal change. I like the change of seasons. I don't want a long, deep, and prolonged winter. And I don't want a massively, hot summer. But I like the change of seasons.
Well, being from Alabama, the summer here probably is not as hot as it was there. I would assume.
No, we're about 10 degrees cooler, and the humidity is 20% less.
Yes, but we're Alabama.
We're right on the beach, so we get constant breeze. Like
wind.
I say, if I was 10 miles inland, you don't get that much wind, and the humidity just sits, and it gets much more humid. Hawaii.
Yeah, it's much nicer here than inland North Carolina. It is. I mean, inland North Carolina, you can't breathe when you go outside. Even into Wilmington, it just hits you like a wall.
Yeah, Hawaii can have more humidity, and I think it's a little more tropical than California. So I think it's a little hotter, more humid. Melissa, Hawaii can get humid and have rain. From what I understand from all our pug friends, veterinary care is not up to bar. Well, that's the end of Hawaii.
I'm still
But
trying to
yeah.
sell her on here. We have great veterinary care. We have tons of veterinarians everywhere.
Yeah.
Just not my ex-husband.
Yeah, if you want 70 degrees and 60% humidity, there's one place in the country to find it consistently. Now, I don't know. Come to think about that, northern New Mexico, northern Arizona, what are the little mountains
that-
up there?
But
That
don't you
may
need
not be
water? Isn't
far
there a
off.
water issue there?
Well, it's more arid. You're not going to really do a lot of great farming there, but I'm not sure that's Melissa's big concern. But
Why you have to
we also have a
quarantine?
gigantic Magnum PI friends.
She said
Would love
fans,
to
not
live
friends.
there.
Fans.
Oh, we are also gigantic Magnum PI fans. So I would love to live there part of the year.
Part
but
of the
animals
year.
need to be quarantined and traveling there, so that doesn't work so well.
Don't like
My
that.
mom loved Magnum PI, and I'm actually a fan of what's the guy's name? I can see his face.
Burt Reynolds.
No,
Right? No,
No,
shit.
Selleck. Tom Selleck.
Selleck. Tom Selleck.
I'm actually a big fan of Tom Selleck. I think he's just a genuinely good guy. And, both on and off the stage.
Screen.
The screen. Yeah, on and off the screen. And
We're getting there, y'all.
admire that.
We're sick. We're trying.
Yeah. He's one of the guys I think is just a genuinely good guy. There's a bridge on I-95 in North Carolina that when you are driving south and it is in the 40s to 50s, autumn temps, you cross the bridge and it is spring. Things are green and all.
Which
On
bridge are we talking
I-95.
about?
On I-95.
I-95
It'd have
all
to
the
be
time.
somewhere over the Cape Fear.
Yeah, I used to drive I-95 and I cross it all the time now, but I used to drive it. Yeah, it must be near the coast.
Yeah, up by Lumberton, Kinston area somewhere.
Lumberton wouldn't be it. I was just thinking about how landfall paints the grass green in the fall. So I don't know. Random stuff. Where is that? Which bridge? I don't know exactly, but that may be. It's near it's got to be near the coast.
No, I-95 doesn't run near the coast.
It does.
It's 100 miles away.
Well, nearer to the coast than not near the coast.
Yeah. No. I think it's probably I can't think of a city nearby, but up about the latitude of Kinston. I think it crosses over some of the Cape Fear tributaries and maybe has some bridges there.
No, it goes from
well, it's north to south.
It is. I know.
It runs past Fayetteville, Vietnam.
Well, ish, yeah. Which is now called what? Fort Liberty.
Yeah, it's still Fort Bragg.
Fort Bragg. Okay, let me look it up real quick.
Yeah, I've never driven the length of the state on I-95.
I have.
I have.
But I've lived here a lot longer than you.
Actually, I've driven down. It's kind of like horizontal from where we are now, and intersected
it's also
south
of the border, right? Remember, it goes through there.
But there's no water there.
North Carolina, South. Hang on, I'm getting there. Travel maps. Okay, where's 95? There's.
Yeah, we're both sitting here looking at maps, trying to figure out I-95.
That might be towards Richmond. That's the closest water. No, you know what? Savannah.
She said it was in North Carolina.
I don't think it is because it's not near North Carolina.
Okay. Well, yeah, through North Carolina, it's almost always at least 100, 120 miles away from the coast. Now, as you go through South Carolina, it starts getting near somewhere around Charleston. It starts approaching the coast closely. And then Savannah, it outskirts it. So it goes over a lot of water there.
Yeah, I was
The,
thinking Savannah to Darien. You go over the intercoastal,
Yeah.
or the at least the swamps or whatever's there. St. Simon's. Oh, there is Hardyville, that area, Okeechobee, and Hilton Head. What?
I'm not telling.
Just emailed you a pic. Pugnum, PI. Maybe not. Then we're going from June, Florida. You could have been either north or south. There's just a lot of 95, and the Outer Banks are just nuts around here. You've got to travel. Literally, as the bird flies, like an hour and a half. You've got to go like 6 hours to get there because of the Outer Banks. And no, the show, The Outer Banks, is not actually filmed in the Outer Banks. FY. Oh, Bobbies. Oh my goodness.
That's Pug PI.
That is so cute. That is so
He looks a
stinking
little
cute.
camera shy.
That is so cute. Who is this one up here? And then who's the fluffy in the middle?
That is cute.
That's an outtake from one of our holiday cards. Aw,
And see, you got the little Ferrari here.
that is so cute. And then the little shoesies. You can't see what I'm looking at.
Those are 2 rabbit shoes. No, looks
Are they
like 2 dog
rabbits?
shoes.
Looks like Dobermans. I don't know. Even got the little red car in there, right? And then I can't tell what's up there because can you make it bigger? Please, please,
This looks
please.
like an iguana.
Can you make it bigger? Here, keep on going there.
Well, that's as
Fluffy
big
is
as the string of laws.
Skywalker. That's Fluffy. Skywalker. I think. Yeah. That's a little froggy frog. Looks like an iguana. That is so stinking cute.
Yeah.
That is sweet.
Melissa has some cute beast. She does. And we appreciate you sharing them with us. That is like
Always.
a highlight. We enjoy it. Stuffies are Zeus
Stuffies.
and Apollo, the Dobermans from the show.
There you go. Okay. See, I told you they were Dobermans.
I forgot they had Dobes on the show, but I remember
Mhm.
those. Who was the
Dobies.
English guy? His Dobe.
Shit. I can't. How does Fluffy see? Oh, Iris is the bearded dragon. Cute. I love that.
How does
How does Fluffy
see?
see? Fluffy. I had to actually trim our dogs like little
Eyes.
above their, yeah, because I was like, y'all can't see a damn thing, can you? I need to trim them. entirely because- Higgins, yes.
I have not watched Magnum PI since my mom passed in 1998. So it's been a while, but she loved that show. English actor was John Hillerman. I remember him. Yep.
His head is now sideways. Permanently? I hope not.
Well, that's
That
very
wouldn't be
cute.
good.
Well, y'all, it's about 9:30.
And Clay knows that I am. He's sick and about to fall out. And
Yeah, I've
Doug is
been trying to
probably losing
hide
his
my
mind.
wheezing here. I'm about to go wheeze my ass off and
I
take the
bet.
pups outside. But I just want to thank y'all for a good night.
Yeah, thanks
Thank
for
you for
hanging in here
joining
with us. We do the best we can with what we've got at the moment, which is kind of sick and not always, oh God, he has EC. What does that mean? Did we just shit on a little dog? No. Tell me, we did not. What is EC? Melissa, help.
The whole world's waiting.
I know the whole world's waiting on Melissa to give us the news of what this dog has got, because I feel like we picked on him and now we shouldn't. Oh Lord.
Echinocoli. It's a rabbit ailment.
Is he a rabbit or a dog?
Never heard of that.
Wait, I thought he was a dog. Is he a rabbit?
That may be a rabbit. The feet
I'm
look more like
can you-
rabbit.
Is it a bunny? See, I thought it was a puppy. That's a bunny foot. Okay.
I thought it was like a
lion head rabbit. Okay. Because you see, okay, he's a lion head.
the ears. I haven't seen ears like that on a rabbit. That threw me off a little bit. Made me think it was a dog. But
Okay, I've got to tell this one quick story. My daughter had a very long-haired rabbit, and of course, I was a hairstylist for 14 years, and she came home one weekend, or after a weekend with her dad, and I was actually, kind of in her room earlier, feeding the rabbits, checking on the rabbits, going, "Gosh, did she cut her bunny's hair? Like." This is a long hair, like it was everywhere. Like she'd pick him up and you couldn't tell what head from tail from anything. It was just lots of hair. And I went in there and all of his hair had been cut off. And I was like, I can't believe my daughter would cut his hair off. She came home. She was like, Mom, did you cut his hair? I'm like, no, I thought you did. She's like, no, apparently Bunny's barber. Or not, they were guinea pigs, excuse me, guinea pigs. Sorry, totally off topic, but on topic. Guinea pigs barber themselves, and one of her guinea pigs cut off all of the other one's hair. Just chewed it right off. It was very sad. Okay, his brain tells him his head's upright, but his head's sideways. I'm retarded, I know. And I'm sick, so I get a little bit of an excuse moment.
all right, y'all.
Yeah, we're going to bed.
I'm going
We
to
love
interrupt
y'all.
Ellen here. She will talk all night long. But really, enjoyed being with you. Y'all are a great group. Y'all are outstanding company, and we appreciate you very much.
Oh, hang on. We got one more.
By the way, how soon do we need to have read The Great Gatsby? I'm getting a copy from Project Gutenberg. We haven't set a date, but probably.
How about y'all tell us, send us an email on the best days or dates, give us a week that would be best for y'all. Because I think that might be like literally we're never doing this again if we don't have more of you show up. We're just not. So please, 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 if y'all will send us an email or a Twitter message, email is moffatonmoney@gmail.com. Of course, Twitter is at moffatonmoney. We can put up a
Well, no, let's just do this.
post.
We do it on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, so y'all
I was
choose
thinking 3 weeks
how much time do you
from
need?
tonight, 3 weeks from tonight, 4 weeks from tonight. Y'all let us know if y'all have a strong preference for one or the other. So there goes February 26th to 28th. That's out.
Yeah, we'd like to at least give you guys a month anyway. So y'all let us know when the best time is.
It's not a terribly long book. We just announced it, a few days ago. So, some of you have to order it, get it in, whatever. Check it out at the library. It is available for free online, several different places. It's a free Kindle book. If you have
You
Kindle.
can also listen to it on YouTube if you're an audio or an auditory person like I am.
So I saw one copy if you want a softback for $3, included delivery.
Yeah, and if y'all want us to, okay, March 7th, we have a vote.
Yep.
Who can't do March 7th, or let us know. Send us an email. Or just, can you do a Twitter post about it?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we've got yours, Cheerful. Got it.
Yeah, and if you're not following me on Twitter, it's Moffat on Money, or you
gmail.com.
can D-mail me at Twitter or email me.
Did you say?
Ellen, one
I'm
talking at a
sorry.
time. I'm going to mute her here. She's punch drunk. All right, DM me at Twitter, Moffat on Money, or email me, moffatonmoney@gmail. And so far it looks like March the 7th will be the preferred date. But if you've got an issue with that, let us know. We'll try to work with everybody as best we can, because we want to see y'all. DM, direct message, absolutely perfect. So really, thank you all for being with us tonight. Y'all are great company.
Just laughing. You said D-mail. Anyway, I know I'm slap happy. I'm tired. I'm sick. Ignore me.
Good night, y'all. Say good night, Ellen.
Good night, guys.
Thank you all. Our time is up. We thank you for yours. Blessings to you all. Good night.